So I found this post on the Pokey Investing subreddit that I wanted to share with you all because this is a perfect example of somebody who just got into the Pokemon market when things went crazy, had no prior knowledge to the market, and just went off of just hype and bought Journey Together here with real no knowledge of prices and I guess what's happened to previous sets, why things have happened to some sets, and why things don't just always work out the same for every single set. Because you can see here in this picture, they have two Journey Together Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, and they are already rethinking their purchasing decisions. I mean, they just bought these a few months ago. I mean, Journey Together is a very new set, and they are already saying, should I even bother holding? So we're going to read this post, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts about what this person has done, and yeah. So let's just read the bottom here. We'll read some comments. I do have another post I'm going to briefly talk about as well, but this is the main post I want to talk about here. So on Journey Together's release, I kinda went completely on impulse. Doesn't sound like a good plan. My only exposure to the sealed market immediately after release had been Surging Sparks and Prismatic Evolutions. So you can see how this is already, just panning out to be a, terrible story. They literally only had exposure to Surging Sparks and Prismatic. Obviously, Surging Sparks was the start of the crazy market, Prismatic, and then Journey. You can see how they have maybe gotten some false sense of just, I don't know, security and hype, thinking, oh, I'm going to buy this and it's going to skyrocket. So in hindsight, I had the wrong idea of what happened to the price of boxes right after launch. Well, yeah, I mean, if you guys know how Journey Together PC ETBs have been performing since being released, not very good. Thinking the ETB would go up in price quickly after launch and stay that way. Well, let's just look at these PC ETBs. So here was release day, and here's what happened a few weeks after, and here's what's happening now. Basically, nothing. And if we want to talk about sales volume here, it's, selling, nothing crazy. It has, I guess, steadily gone up 4% over the last month, but overall hasn't really done much. Obviously, it didn't rebound back up like Surging Sparks and Prismatic did, which they mentioned. But they're, obviously they're new in this set. They, would have known better if they've been in this market, but they only saw Surging and Prismatic, used that data to compare to Journey, and they made this purchasing decision. So let's just see how much they paid. I made the very smart decision of buying these two PC ETBs for 260 Canadian each. Now, I searched up how much 260 Canadian is into USD. I'm pretty sure it's 190. So, $190 for each PC ETB. Now, I don't know where they bought these from, but if you even see what the price was at its, okay, well, this doesn't count, what it was basically on release, it was 161. So I don't really know. It's kind of hard to tell here exactly what the price was a little bit before then, but on at least on release, basically, it was 161. So I don't know how they even ended up paying 190 USD. I know it's in Canadian, but I did the conversion. I don't even know how they pay that much, but okay. Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm wondering if I'm gonna even make my money back in 3 years. So they're thinking about this in the wrong way, right? They obviously wanted to probably flip this, right? Because they were thinking they would quickly go back up in price after launch and stay that way. So already this mindset is a little bit wrong, especially when you're starting to invest into Pokemon, right? You really shouldn't have this automatically, oh, I'm going to buy it, it's going to immediately go up, and then I'm probably going to sell it. Because they're now even thinking if they're going to get their money back in 3 years. Now, obviously, when you invest into Pokemon, for the most part, most of your purchases should be for the long term, right? That's kind of what investing is. And they're already thinking that they're not going to make their money back in the long term. So already they're having some doubts about investing into Pokemon, obviously specifically with this product, but not really a good sign for somebody that's new. This set doesn't look too promising in terms of demand and market prices. Now, I've talked about before how I truly believe that Journey Together right now is a little bit of a sleeper. I believe it is a little bit overhated for what it is, and I do think it's going to perform perfectly fine in the long term, especially the booster box because of the enhanced feature. This is a PCETB, so it's not a booster box, but still, I think the set's going to perform fine. But this person is obviously not very happy because they've already lost money, probably on one of their first investments, and yeah, obviously demand isn't extremely high for the set as of right now. Should I even bother holding on to these? Maybe try to trade them for something that's a safer investment, rip them. I need some advice, honestly. So before even going into the comments, here's my advice. First of all, is this a lot of money for you? If this is a lot of money for you, investing into these ETBs, I mean, you might have probably not even should have even bought them in the first place, right? But you only have two ETBs here. And, in the grand scheme of things, two ETBs really isn't much, right? So it is really going to depend how much this money's worth to you, because if you were to sell these right now, you paying 190 USD for each, which is 380 total. If you were to sell these, right, on eBay, you'd probably come out with maybe $200. So you'd be losing almost $200 with these ETBs. So, if you really needed the money, then I would say, as of right now, if you really need it, probably sell it. If you really needed the money. Because, in my opinion, at least in the next probably 6 months here, I don't really see these going up a ton, to be honest. In the next 6 months, I don't really see that happening with these PC ETBs. They may go up $20 maybe, but if you really need the money for whatever reason, probably selling now wouldn't be the worst thing ever, because for these to go up, I think it will take time. But that's what investing is about. Obviously, they sort of approach this in the wrong way, buying literally seemingly on release and then prices drop afterwards. I mean, that was their first mistake. But in the long run, you will, at least cut even. I do think at some point, will this go back up to what they paid at 190? Probably, but it may take a few years. So in my opinion, if you need the money, you're not going to probably get it back anytime in the near future. I'd probably just sell it now, honestly. But if you're trying to put it back into another investment and hold something then, I would just keep them, to be honest. Like, if you're going to sell this, buy something else. I mean, I guess, but the only way I would really say that you should really sell these is if you need the money for like a bill or something. Because other than that, I mean, you're investing. Just hold it. It's only two ETBs. If you sell, you're going to sell at a loss. You could probably put your money in somewhere better. But if I were in your position, you don't really need the money that bad, just keep it. Did you buy it at the wrong time? Didn't really do much research? Yes. But, I mean, at this point, I think Journey Together is just not the right time to really sell, because just the demand for the set really isn't there. But I think there will be a time where it comes around. And if you don't need the money, I don't see why you take a loss on it literally 3 months after the set is released. I don't think that's really that smart. But like I said, if you really need the money, then sell it. But other than that, I really wouldn't. So let's read some of the comments and we'll go to the next one here. If you have the money to hold it for the next 5 years, you're more than likely make your money back with the Scarlet and Violet FOMO kicks in the next couple years. Otherwise, if you need the money for necessities, then sell it. Or sell it and turn that money into other items that have a higher chance of getting your money back and then some. So kind of what I said, I did mention that if they were going to just invest into other things, then maybe not. But you could also do what this person's saying. If you rip it, make sure you don't come back to this post 3 to 5 years from now and go, wow, these are $500 a pop. Why didn't I just hold and forget? Could be an argument there to be made. Yes, the classic buy high, then sell low when emotions stir. Hold, don't lock in losses unless rotating to a much better product. PC ETBs from Journey Together are not a bad pick at all. Just time to buy is now, not then. So pretty much exactly what I think. At this point, I'd rip it and just treat it as an expensive ETB that you'll ever buy from now on. Take it as a life lesson and move forward. Sound like you're holding on to it will just lead to more memories of your regrets. So I don't really agree with this. I wouldn't open up a PC ETB, to be honest with you guys. The promo, I believe, is like $35, $40 for this one. So you're paying, I don't know, what, $10 a pack or something like that, like $9 a pack, which is crazy for Journey Together. I really wouldn't do that, but hey, it's if he wants to do it, then go ahead. But I wouldn't open it. If anything, I'd just sell it. Dude, that's a cool ETB. Trainers came back for the set. Also, when have you seen an ETB with a trainer in their Pokemon besides Destined Rivals? It's a piece of ETB. Just hold. If you were okay to spend the money before, it means it wasn't too urgent. Just put it away and forget about it. So pretty much everyone here is sort of saying the same thing. Hold it if you can. You'll make your money back. If you need the money now, just sell it. That's kind of what advice I gave. But this person, it's hard, right? Because yeah, if you use the previous sets, Surging and Prismatic, and you saw how those PCETBs performed after release, yeah, they both went up, right, after going down. Um, but Journey Together, it was sort of obvious it was going to be a different story. It already started at like around 150 or something around there, and Journey Together, I was, honestly sort of surprised with how far it dropped with the demand like that quickly, but it wasn't that surprising that it didn't perform and go crazy like Surging or Prismatic. To me, that was sort of obvious, but obviously this person didn't really know that, and they bought these at a crazy price point. I honestly don't know how they paid that much, but yeah. So next here, just another post that I wanted to talk about quickly here because it sort of relates to the last one. Should I get rid of Surging Sparks and use the cash on another set? Since y'all like numbers, price I paid everywhere. I got some Paldea for whatever, 90, 150, 180. Okay, whatever. My question is, would you sell some Surging Sparks to get other sets, or am I not seeing the vision? Pricing is all over the place since I buy multiple booster boxes at once, then sell a few to lower my cost. Whatever. So I guess before we read comments, I mean, my opinion with Surging Sparks, you seem to have what, 4 here. If you paid about $100 each, maybe you sell one of them, 2 of them maybe. I honestly think at this price point, Surging Sparks, especially now, it's dropped to like 220. It did initially go back up from being like reprinted, but they have gone back down recently, which who knows why. But I think at this price point, like at 220, Surging Sparks, I feel like it's neither a sell or buy. It's kind of a hold in my opinion with Surging. The demand obviously has fallen off quite a bit from where it was at initially at release, but Surging Sparks overall still is a good set. You could maybe argue to put some money somewhere else, but in my opinion with Surging Sparks, here's what I'll say. If you're not going to buy Sword and Shield booster boxes with the money you're going to use selling Surging Sparks, I would not sell it, if that makes any sense. Because Scarlet and Violet right now, overall, is expensive, right, for what it is. Right, what are you going to put it in? Maybe Prismatic? You want to buy a Prismatic ETB? Maybe then I would maybe say that's not a bad choice. If you're going to buy ETB like $100, I would maybe argue that could be maybe a play. But other than that, like every single other set is pretty expensive. Like Paldea Evolved is pretty expensive, and they said they already bought some Paldea. If I was this person, if you're not using the money for like Sword and Shield and maybe a Prismatic ETB, I really wouldn't sell them because right now at 220, it's not the best time to sell. And they honestly, well, they have I guess more Surging than pretty much anything else. But that would be my argument. Either put it into Sword and Shield or Prismatic, or honestly, I would just kind of just hold because it's still a good set. But if they do want to use it for something else, I really wouldn't go out and buy, let's say, like Destined Rivals. If you're gonna buy or you're going to sell these and buy Destined Rivals, I wouldn't recommend it because seemingly they paid probably low hundreds for these, and to then put into Destined with that money that you made profits on with Surging, to me probably wouldn't be the smartest thing ever. So that's just my take on that. Hold it all and never look back. If you were going to ever dump it, now is not the time. Yeah, that's what I sort of think. It's just come off of a reprint and it's gone back down. It's the lowest Surging has been since its release. Yeah, because it's got reprinted. If you sell, it will go up. That's how stonks works. Please sell, do us a solid. So basically just saying, this is kind of a troll. No, I'd buy more Surging Sparks if you can. Based on how booster boxes perform over time, the lower the price you'd snag them, the better over the years. They will be the cheapest options with a higher rate of return over time. Buying something already inflated due to availability won't return as much, in my opinion. Imagine Surging Sparks shot up to $500 in 3-4 years' time. You have more Surgings because they costed less rather than a single grail increasing the same amount in the same time frame. Albeit that's just me guessing. There's no telling how far things will go, but you can count on the newer stuff shooting up eventually. I also don't have any sealed product, and I take everything I said with a grain. Why did this person even comment? First of all, their argument here, I mean, some of it makes sense. Like, yeah, it'll probably shoot up in this time, but at the same time, it seems like they're just guessing. I don't know. This whole response was weird. I don't know why this person honestly even commented. I think that sums up this whole video. Journey Together, that piece of ETB, if I was that person, I mean, 190 is such a high price. I think for it to get a 190, it might honestly take to 12 months to go back up to that price point, in my opinion, because I don't think they're going to reprint them. Just my opinion. But hey, Prismatic piece ETB's got reprints, so who knows? But yeah, Journey Together is going to take a little bit. If you need the money now to pay a bill, sell it. If you don't, probably just hold it. Sorting Sparks, I'd only use it for Sword and Shield stuff, honestly, and that's kind of it. And yeah, that response was kind of weird. So that's all I have for you guys here today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.